Hello, it's Friday and it's a beautiful day to be doing some math. Don't worry if it's nice outside, you'll get outside. I'm going to make this lesson as short as I can for you. I put up your warm-up problems for you. First four are some division and multiplication problems. You guys should be getting those. Then an area and perimeter problem. And then we have a Hunter's fishing story. So Hunter had a great day fishing. He caught 4 bass that weighed 12 pounds each. Then he caught 6 northern that weighed 23 pounds each. On his last cast, he caught a shark that weighed 231 pounds. How many pounds of fish did Hunter catch in all? Sorry, a couple of my letters got cut off here. Why don't you grab a pencil, piece of paper, figure those out, and come back and I'll work all of them out with you. Okay, here we go. First problem is, I keep on dropping my pen. 24 divided by 6. I can say 6 times what is 24? 2 6s are 12, 3 6s are 18, 4 6s are 24, so this answer is 4. 30 divided by 5, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, oh, that's 6, not so hard on that one. 7 times something is 28. I'm going to double 7 to get 14. If I double 14, I get 28. So that's 4 7s, so that's 7 times 4. Now, something times 4 is 32. Look at this. I know 7 times 4 is 28. 32 is 1 more 4. So I know this one has to be 8 times 4. Sometimes I can use other problems I've done to get to a problem that I'm working on next. So find the perimeter area of this rectangle. My rule in my class again is always write down when you're figuring out perimeter what the other two sides are. So you know you add them all together. So I'm going to do 32 plus 32. 30 and 30 are 60. 2 and 2 are 4, so I get 64 miles. 4 and 4 are 8. So 64 and 8 are 72 miles. Okay. Now I'm going to move this up a little bit. And I'm even going to take this away. I'll leave that 72 so you can see it. Now, I'm going to multiply 32 times 4, but I'm going to break that 32 into a 30 and a 2. This is area model of multiplication. So I'm going to do 4 times 30, or I'm going to make a shortcut. 4 times 3 is 12, and I have to tack that 0 on as a placeholder. And 4 times 2 is 8. So if I add those together, I get 128, and my units are square miles. Okay. Let's go and figure out Hunter's problem now. Let me rearrange these a little bit more. And I'm going to go through and highlight the information I need to know. Hunter had a great day fishing. Every day is a great day fishing. He caught 4 bass that weighed 12 pounds each. That's a big fish. He caught 6 northern that weighed 23 pounds each. On his last cast, he caught a shark that weighed 231 pounds. How many pounds of fish did Hunter catch in all? This sounds like a fish story to me, but oh well. I see 3 different parts of this, so I'm going to divide my paper into 3. And my first part is 4 bass, 12 pounds each. So I'm going to do 4 times 12. Now, I'm going to double 12 and get 24. And I'm going to double that and get 48. Because I know if I'm multiplying by 4, I can do a double-double. So I ended up with 48 pounds of bass. Next, he caught 6 northern, 23 pounds each. Let's do area model, just like we just got dug in up there. So I'm going to split that 23 into a 20 and a 3. And now I have 6 of those, so I'm going to put my 6 here. 6 times 2 is 12. Tack on that 0 for the placeholder. 6 times 3 is 18. So there I have to add 120 plus 18 is 138 pounds. Now, he went and caught a shark. I'm sure it wasn't in a lake around here because I don't see many sharks in our lakes. So I have 231 pounds there. I have 138 from his northern, and I have 48 from the bass that he caught. Now, I'm going to do this problem. I have to make sure that I always line up my ones into my ones column, my tens in my tens column, and my hundreds in my hundred column. Now, when I go and add this, I'm going to add the two eights first, because I can double 8 and make it easy. 8 and 8 are 16, and 1 is 17. Put down my ones, carry my tens. I'm going to add those two threes together first, because I like doing doubles. 3 and 3 are 6. Oh, plus 4 more, that's a make 10, that's 10. And 1 more is 11. Put down my ones, carry my tens. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 1 is 4. He had 417 pounds of fish. Hopefully he has a big wagon to get that all the way to his house. Okay, now I'm going to put a couple more problems up here for you and see how we do with these ones. Let's see the first one. My rule on these problems, again, is I know this side, because all my information is there. I don't know what the P is on that side. So to find out that side, I'm going to always make this known side easier for myself. So I'm going to add these two. So 24 and 12. 20 and 10 is 30. 4 and 2 is 6. So this side equals 36. So something times 6 equals 36. And I know, remember from the last problems, warm-up problems, 6 times 5 is 30. So I know that 6 times 6 is going to be 36. So P has to be equal to 6. And 6 times 6 is 36. So 36 is equal to 36. I checked it. I got it right. Okay. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to see if you can, or not a couple minutes. I'll give you a couple seconds, see if you can do that one yourself. And then I'll work through it with you. Remember, hop on that side you know is true first, the one you have all the information on. Okay? So, I know this side. I have 48 minus 32, and I'll do that standard algorithm. 8 minus 2 is 6. 4 take away 3 is 1. So this side equals 16. 2 times something is 16. I can count by 2s to 16. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Oh, looks like 8 to me. If I put an 8 in there, 2 times 8 is 16. And I check that problem. I got it right. So H would be equal to 16. To end our day today, what I would like to do with you is just a couple more area model multiplication problems. I kind of like area model. It breaks things down and makes it real easy. So let's do 5 times 54. So if you remember, we're going to just do that front end multiplication. We're going to do 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25, good. I have to tack that 0 on for that placeholder. 5 times 4 is 20. If I add those two together, I get 207. So 5 times 54 is 270. I'll put another problem up. This time, I'll let you work on it by yourself and see how you do. So let's see if you can do 63 times 6 on your own. Okay, so let's do it together. 6 times 6 is, I know 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 6 is 36. tack that 0 on as a placeholder. 6 times 3 is, 6 double is 12, 6 more is 18. So I get 360 plus 18 is 378. That's my answer for that problem. One last problem. I'm going to make it real hard on you this time, though. I have 222 times 4. Go ahead and work it out. See how you do. Hopefully some of you have it all right. I have 4 times 2 is 8. I have 2 zeros for placeholders this time. This time 4 times 2 is 8 again. Just 1 0 as a placeholder. And 4 times 2 is 8. 888 looks like my answer. Okay. That's it for your math today. If you are going to go off, you have 2 pages to work in your Pink Home Connection book, and they are pages 129 and 130. Then you get some Dreambox done. Make sure you're getting your 5 lessons in. 11 minutes and 50 seconds for this lesson. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. If you're going to stay with me for some enrichment math, get some more paper, get ready to get going. Have a good day. You said you wanted enrichment. Here's enrichment for you. Your first problem is 42,653,271,142 times 5. Why don't you take about 10 seconds to see if you can get that done? I'll pause it, turn it back on when you're ready to get your answer. Now, if you remember my rule, never be afraid of math. You just take a look at this problem and say, I can do it, and maybe you can do it really fast. Let's see how fast we can do it. 5 times 2 is 10. Put down my 1s, carry my 10s. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. Put down my 1s, carry my 10s. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 7 is 35. Put down a 5, carry my 3. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3 is 13. Put down my 1s, carry my 10s. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. Put down my 1s, carry my 10s. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 1 is 26. Put down my 1s, carry my 10s. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 2 is 32. Put down my 1s, carry my 10s. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3 is 13. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. Every 3 gets a house. So your answer is 213,266,355,710. Hopefully you're warmed up and ready to get into some more math after that. Let's do a couple of multiplication problems, a couple of division problems. Let's do 236 times 27. You can do that any way you want. Go ahead and pause it, work on the problem, and we'll come back and see how you did. If I were doing this problem, I would probably do this one standard algorithm. We could do it some other ways. I think this one just fits well for that. So, of course, if I'm multiplying by a 2-digit number on bottom, I'm going to forget about that first number and just multiply by the 7. 7 times 6 is 42. Put down my 1s, carry my 10s. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 4 is 25. Put down my 1s, carry my 10s. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 2 is 16. I'm all done multiplying by that 7. So now I have to multiply by that 20. And of course, I can't have anything in the 1 spot if I'm multiplying by a 20. So I'm going to put Waldo down. I'm going to switch color of pen again so you can see that we're doing something different. 2 times 6 is 12. I'm going to put down my 2. I used that 4 already. I'm going to carry that 1. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. I've already used this 2, so I'm going to draw a line through it. 2 times 2 is 4. If I add those together, I get 2, 7, 3, 6,372. Hopefully that's the same answer you got. Since we matched on that one, let's step things up a little bit. Let's try 326 times 145. Again, this is a problem I would probably do standard algorithm. Since we have to multiply by a 3-digit number, let's do it together. So 326, 145. Since this is multiplication, it didn't really matter what number is on top and what number is on bottom. I'm going to forget about these two numbers and just do my multiplication by 5 first. 5 times 6 is 30. Put down my 1s, carry my 10s. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3 is 13. Notice how I'm keeping my columns nice and neat. Put down my 1s, carry my 10s. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. Now, I'm done with the 5, I'm going to go multiply by the 4, and of course that 4 is a 40, not a 4. So I have to put Waldo down in my 1 spot. And 4 times 6 is 24. Put down my 4. Cross that out, carry my 2. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. Put down a 0, carry a 1. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Here's the next step you guys might be ready for, but I know you can do it. Now I'm going to multiply by 100. So I can't have anything in the 1s. I can't have anything in the 10s because I'm multiplying by 100. And now I can go ahead and multiply. 6 times 1, 6. I already used that 2, I'm going to cross out. 1 times 2, 2. I already used that. 1 times 3, 3. And when I add this, I have 0 plus Waldo is 0. 3 plus 4 is 7. 6 and 6 are 12. Put down my 1s, carry my 10s. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 2 is 4, plus 3 is 7. And 1 plus 3 is 4. 1, 2, 3 in a house, so I ended up with 47,270. Hopefully that's what you got. I'm going to tell you a little secret about this problem too. Before I started the problem, I knew that my answer was going to end in 0. The reason I knew it was going to end in 0 is because I had a 5 in the 1 spot and a 6 in the 1 spot. Whenever I multiply 5 by an even number, I'm always going to end in 0. So that's a good way just to check real quick and say, that's even. That's got to be a 0. Okay? Let's do a couple division problems, a fraction problem, and then get you outside. So you go ahead and work through 276 divided by 14. Here we go, 276 divided by 14. Let's do ratio table first. So I have my 276 over here. And I'm going to say, how many 14s are there in 2? There aren't any. How many 14s are in 27? I know there's 1. And I'm covering up one number, so I'm going to start out with a 10 over here. And 10 times 14 is 140. So I have to subtract 140 from this. 6. I get 136. Okay, next one. How many 14s in 1? None. How many 14s in 13? None. How many 14s in 136? I'm going to look at that 136, and I know that 14 times 10 is 140. So I know it's going to be really close to 10. So I'm going to do 14 times 9 up here and see what I get. 9 9 times 4 is 36. 3. 9 times 4, you get 126. So I'm going to do 9. Get 126. I'm going to subtract 126. And I'm going to get 10. 10 is smaller than 14, so I'm done. My answer is 19 with a remainder of 10, or 19 and 10 over 14, or 19. I can divide both those numbers by 2 because they're both even, and 5 over 7. Those are all the same answer. Let's do standard algorithm, see how we do it. 14 goes into 2, now times, into 27, once. Subtract my 14, I get 13. 13 is smaller than 14, I can bring down my 6. How many 14s go in there? We did the multiplication over there, we know it's 9. That's 126. If I subtract, I get 10. Here's a little secret. If I want to find the decimal point out here, I'm just going to tack another 0 on there to bring down that 10. How many 14s are there in 100? I'm going to try 14 times 6 is 24 to 84. I'm going to try 14 times 7, 8, 2, that's 98. So I know that's 7. That's 98. So subtract, I get 2. So that's about 19.7. Okay. Let's do one more problem you get to work on. And division. And let's do 2,634 divided by 12. Okay, so I think I'll just do this one standard algorithm. So how many 12s in 2? None. How many 12s in 26? I know 12 times 2 is 24. I subtract, I get a 2. Is 2 smaller than 12? Yes. I can bring down my 3. How many 12s in 23? I know it's only 1 because 2 12s are 24. So I have to subtract 12. 3 minus 2 is 1. So I'll get 11. Is 11 smaller than 12? Yep, I'm good to go. I can bring down my 4. How many 12s in 14? Now I'm going to use the side of my paper a little bit. 12 times 8. 8 times 2 is 16. That's 96. I know I can get more, so let's do 12 times 9. 2 times 9 is 18. Carry 1. 9 times 1 is 9. 108. So it is going to be a 9. And I subtract 108. 4 take away 8, I can't do. Then go next door and buy some sugar. That becomes a 0. 14 take away 8 is 6. 6 is smaller than 12, so that was a good choice. Let's see if I get a decimal point on this one. So I'm going to tack on a 0 here. Bring that 0 down. How many 12s in 60? I know 8 is too big, so let's do 12 times. Let's do 12 times 5. It's a good middle number. 5 times 2 is 10. Oh, look at that. That's 60. And I have to subtract 60, and I get 0. So my answer is 219.5. Or if I would have stopped without the decimal, I would have 219 and 6 over 12. And I know 6 over 12, 6 goes into 12, so 6 divided by 6 is 1, 12 divided by 6 is 2. Okay, let's do a fraction problem for you. We've been doing some adding fractions, so let's do Since they do not have denominators the same, you're going to have to find a common denominator. Remember, always check and see if the smaller number goes into the larger number, smaller denominator goes into the large denominator evenly. Does 3 go into 8? No. So double that 8. Does 3 go into 16? No. So let's do triple 8, 24. Does 3 go into 24? Yep. These both go into 24. So I'm going to change this into 24 by multiplying by 3. Whatever I do at the bottom, I have to do at the top. So 7 times 3 is 21. To change this into 24, I multiply by 8. Whatever I do at the bottom, I have to do at the top. And now, my denominator is going to stay the same because the pieces are still cut in the same size. And I get 37 over 24. Now I know 24 goes into 37 once, and there are 13 left over. I know from all my math days that 13 is a prime number, which means the only numbers that go into 13, its only factors are 1 and 13. So I cannot reduce this fraction unless 13 goes into 24, and it doesn't. So my answer to that problem would be 1 and 13 24ths. I'll throw one up for you. You can do the whole one yourself, and then we'll see how we do together. So you go ahead and try to figure out 4/5 plus 7/8. Okay. Since 5 and 8 are not the same, I can't just add straight out. I'm going to see if the 5 goes into 8 evenly. It does not. So I have to find a number they both go into. And this is where, when you start to get really good at your multiplication facts, you can just say, what number do 5 and 8 both go into? I know 5 goes into 20, but 8 doesn't. I know 40. I know they both go into 40. So I'm going to multiply this by 8 to get to 40. Whatever I do to the bottom, do to the top. 4 times 8 is 32. This times 5 is 40. This times 5 is 35. If I add straight across, remember my denominator is going to stay the same. I get 67 over 40. Now 40 goes into 67 once. There are 27 left over out of 40. I'm going to think of the numbers that are factors of 27. 1 and 27. 3 goes into 27 9 times. Do 1, 27, 3, or 9 go into 40? 1 does, but it doesn't help us out. That's our answer in its lowest terms. Okay? I said that was going to be it, but I know I'm going to throw one more in there just to teach you something new. This is adding two mixed numbers. It's a mixed number because I have a whole number and a fraction. And a whole number and a fraction. When I add this mixed number, it's no different than the problems I just did. I have to first find a common denominator, add those fractions together. And I know that my smaller one goes into my larger one, so I'm going to multiply this by 2 to make it a 6. Whatever I do the bottom, I have to do the top. That's going to become a 4. Now, when I go straight across, I add 2 plus 3 is 5. 1 6 plus 4 6 is 5 6. So my answer would be 5 and 5 sixths. You stayed with me for about 30 minutes today, so I'll let you go. Go and do those 2 pages. Do some Dreambox. Do some multiplication.com. Get really good in your multiplication division facts. In 4th grade, it'll be really, really, really easy for you. Thanks for staying with me and being enriched. I always challenge yourself. Math will never hurt you. Have a good day.